Today is Monday, the 8th of December 2025, and this is papertrail.com, a daily streaming all about governance, risk, and compliance in the UK for SME and mid-market firms. We start this week with something that is not often mentioned across the C-suite or board of directors, or even across management and teams. Compliance has a reputation of tension, scrutiny, and pressure, even when nothing is actually going wrong. But I think the truth is simpler. So people are not anxious because they dislike compliance. They are anxious and nervous and worried because the environment around compliance is unclear, right? So today is about, hopefully, that shift, how changing the environment lifts performance, morale, and confidence. And today's topic particularly is the moment I realized I've been approaching compliance all wrong. And these are the three most common problems I identified. So don't worry about the acronyms, they are all explained during the streaming. And this is not a complete guide, neither legal advice either. So always look for specialists and professionals in the areas you need them. So let's go into the most common problems in terms of compliance and how it affects your teams. And number one is the UK regulators expect organizations to demonstrate accountability, not only state it. So when teams can't, they cannot see what's expected of them, anxiety rises because they know they will later need to prove their decisions, right? Problem number two is a research from the Health and Safety Executive shows leadership behavior strongly influences whether people feel safe raising issues or reporting mistakes. So anxiety grows when expectations feel opaque or dark or not very clear or inconsistent, right? And the problem number three is that the evidence is scattered across folders, inboxes, and shared drives, people's minds, without clear ownership. And thus, then as a result, this task repeats, deadline sleeps, and people fear audits because they cannot see whether they are right or wrong. And as far as I understand, nobody gets up in the morning thinking, oh, I'm going to fail today. It's not that the case. People looking to going to work, or actually they started their career thinking they are going to do, and they can do an amazing job. But in time, this environment of compliance also contributed to them to go like I have to go to the office again because they don't know where they are stepping. I am right doing this, I am wrong doing that, because the compliance requirements are not clear. So picture this as a simple metaphor, and I like this one particularly. Think of compliance like navigating a busy roundabout, right? If the signs are unclear, every driver tenses up, not because they are incompetent driving, but because no one is certain who moved first. So if you don't have clear which are the exits, it's not clearly signed, it's not clear who in your blind spot, because they have the same uncertainty. The guys in front of you, they are micro-adjusting all the time because it's my exit, it's not my exit. I should be in this line, I should be in the other line. And the guy behind you start to, to use the horn because actually they are impatient. So you have all these pressures about compliance that actually is not because people are incompetent in driving. It's because it's not clear what they have to do, how to do it, right? So here are 3 points to consider to change in this environment towards lifting your team's performance, morale, and confidence. Number one, give people a shared map. So the Information Commissioner's Office Accountability Framework emphasizes clarity on roles, decisions, and evidence. So when expectations are visible, uncertainty declines and engagement rises. Solution number two, use one structure for obligations. The Health and Safety Executive also guides shows that consistent processes reduce errors, rework, and hesitation. The same applies to compliance tasks that goes across different departments. And number three, avoid this trap, the enforcement mindset. So we have to do this because we have to do it. Studies and organizational behavior shows punitive cultures Punitive, I mean people that use force or enforce things without explaining too much to suppress reporting and weaken controls. And supportive cultures, on the other hand, encourage early flagging, reducing risk before it escalates. So you can see this this complexity here, which is just not, I'm not talking about the frameworks yet, or about the 16 frameworks required of any UK company. We are talking health and safety, fire safety, DVCA for fleet management, GDPR, cyber essentials, PECR, or the quality controls like or certification like ISOs or ESG or SRS. So you see, when you start to pile up to add all these complexities, there is no wonder that 73% of UK companies outsource and hire consultants, advisors, or delegate to controls to other contractors, because there are no dedicated teams, officials, or personnel within the company to run these compliance requirements. So, as I always mentioned in the live streams, you and your company should have a compliance baseline, or at least a baseline in mind, so you can hire on your own terms, because it's not just about being compliant, it's about the people that actually drive all these things. Because I remember one case where people said, a hotel is a wonderful building. You can have the best kitchen, the best facilities, the best services, etc. But if there is no people in the hotel servicing the guests, there is no hotel. So remember, you might have a very, very shiny object in terms of compliance, but it's all about your people. So 3 suggestions when outsourcing, particularly when you want to change this environment for one that lifts your team's performance, morale, and confidence. Number 1 is the outcomes. Do they give you one structured evidence model mapped to UK frameworks? So teams always know what's needed, what is done, and what is missing. As a result, you and your team get a direct fix for anxiety caused by uncertainty. Solution number 2, how they differentiate. Unlike generic tools, do they provide a guided intake that uses your business profile to surface only relevant obligations? So that removes 60 plus pages of guesswork and allow your staff to focus on meaningful actions rather than interpretation, which is another big source of anxiety and demotivator, because people are not trained or prepared to interpret frameworks or regulators requirements at certain degrees. It's not a job. So, and remember, this is the key word here is your business profile. So regulators require certain things for your business profile. So you don't have to comply with everything. So you can tell some of them, I'm not required to do this. For example, if you are below the threshold. Number 3, how they help you to reduce your risk. Is every control, records, and incident traceable, so it's stored to the requirements. So during an audit, you can answer why it is. So you can answer that in seconds. So as a result, also, you are turning audit pressure into a predictable routine, as the case of the roundabout. It's something familiar. Everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows the exit. Everybody understands the scenery around the roundabout, right? So all the drivers can smoothly navigate that roundabout without much problem. So one action you can take today, test this, is in the next 30 minutes, list your 3 highest risk activities and note where their evidence currently lives. The gaps you see will show exactly where those anxieties, worries, and concerns originate. Saying so, what you probably are thinking is there a faster, more reliable, and easier way to do this? And it is. It's called PaperTrail, our software. If you want the clarity, structure, and evidence model that removes chaos from compliance, join the PaperTrail Easy Access waitlist and get your full supportive culture baseline built for you. And all this is ready to demonstrate your risks and your treatments and your evidence. And remember, the best defensible position you have in your organization in front of auditor notices our audit, I mentioned audits, is your evidence. is the best defensible position. So you can stop activities that increase workload but add no value, increasing your costs and labor hours and expenses in just redundant work. And actually, redundant work also comes from those idle times where people go and make these little micro meetings, what we should do here, what we have to do. And then this is just pretty much a waste of time and resources in your organization. And if you start to add up across all your teams, organizations, you start to add up hours and hours and hours of nothing, but you have to pay for that. This is perfect for Paper Trail, is perfect for UK SMEs and mid-market firms because you use the same control libraries across all the frameworks: health and safety, GDPR, DVCA, Cyber Essentials, CPR. So there's no double entries. That's reducing your overlap by 60% and your costs by 80%, and builds a compliance culture with a supportive culture for your teams and your company. So you have everything all in one place. It's a continued gap analysis, and it's a clear view of what's done, what is missing, and who owns the fix before assurance, inspections, or reports or audits hits you. Because you can see compliance as a reward, a recognition that people are actually doing a fantastic job. It's not a punishment, right? So do it once, do it properly, and move on to the things that are more interesting to you, which is grow your department or grow your company and be more profitable. So join the waitlist, papertrail.com, and stay tuned. Tomorrow, I will explain why expectation feels so chaotic today and why that chaos, not the rules themselves, is the real source of compliance stress, anxiety, and demotivators across your teams. Perfect. See you tomorrow.